So hello guys. Before this video, I just want to say thank you so much for 186 followers and like like 34 plus followers overnight. Thank you so much. I am so happy for that and grateful. And second, thank you for 1k views on my Kill X listening video. I am so happy for that too. And 722 views on my in 23 hours on my Ray X listener. I'm so happy for that. Also, I completely apologize for recording this at 7 p.m. I've just been dealing with schoolwork. I have no idea who had the bright idea to give students so much work and still expect them to get it done in one night. Whoever idea that was, they're special. I mean, if they could do it, then they're very special. They're like inhuman or something. But anyways, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. And I again apologize for recording at 7:32 p.m. where I am. So yeah, that's kind of late, but I'm sorry, very sorry. I apologize. So again, without further ado, let's get into the video. What was that? Okay. So you said you wanted to study, right? You wanted my help studying? Yeah. What do you want to work on first? Variables? Didn't we do this in like 4th grade? Okay. Well, for starters, a variable is any factor or trait or condition that can consist of in differing amounts or types. An experiment usually has 3 kinds of variables: independent, dependent, and controlled. The independent variable is one that is changed by the scientist. Oh, you're talking about the math type of variables? Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about science. Well, if you're talking about math, then a variable in algebra is a symbol, usually a letter, standing for an unknown numerical value in an equation. Commonly used variables include x and y, real number unknowns. Z is a complex number unknowns. T stands for time, R is radius, and S is arc length. Does that make sense? Okay. So for example, a variable of the string data type may contain a value of a sample text, while a variable is an integer data type may contain a value of 11. Does that make sense? Is that a better example? Well, I will give you another one just to make sure, and make sure to write this down. Taking notes is easier to remember things later on. Makes it easier. Sorry. In the equation 10 equals 2x. X is the variable in the situation. In the equation y plus 2 equals 6, y is the variable. So basically, variables, for the starter, variables are just it's just a letter standing for an unknown number, or an unknown sum. Variables can be quite difficult if you 1 don't know what a variable is, and 2 if it's just in the middle of an equation. It can make it quite difficult to spot it out completely. Though if you know the simple rules, it'll make it easier, and we'll go over them today. So, The rules of all variables is that a variable must begin with a letter of an alphabet or an unscore. The second rule is after the first initial letter, variable names can also contain letters and numbers. Uppercase characters are distinct in lowercase characters. You cannot use the letter C++ keyword is reserved word as a variable name. Yes. If you don't understand what the C++ is, then the rules for naming a C variable is a C variable must be named and again begin with the letter or an underscore. A C variable are a case of sensitivity. They can be constructed with digits and letters. No special symbols are allowed other than the underscore. Some height and value are some examples for a C variable name. Do you understand? Did you write that down? Good. You're doing great. Just keep up with me, okay? If you need me to re-explain something, don't be afraid to ask. That's what I'm here for. Okay.
Creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
An equation set to... Now, what's a variable equation? A variable equation is a set of two... So an equation is equation sets two mathematical expressions equal to one another. A single variable equation is an equation in which there is only one variable used. Note, the variable can be used multiple times and or used on the other side of the equation. All that matters is that the variable remains the same. That is basically a variable equation. So for example, the equation can look like this. 6 minus 2t equals 2t plus 9. Or 5 minus 2 parentheses 3 minus x parentheses plus 4x plus 10. That is an example. If you want, later I can send you some practice problems and you can give them to me tomorrow for me to check. I don't really have anything on me now for me to make a practice problem because I just thought that I would be explaining this to you. Sorry if I came so unprepared. Okay. Next one, okay? So is there anything else you'd like to learn? Because that is really just the basics and it on variables. History? What do you want to know about history? I'm not the best at that subject, though I do have quite the extent of knowledge on it. My father, the right now #1 hero, and well, my father's a real douchebag, but my father was set on having me surpass all might in almost every way possible, including knowledge. So I was basically forced to understand everything about almost every subject that I could. I was homeschooled for the most part, so I didn't really have a teacher, meaning my mother taught me everything. I didn't mind though. It was quite enjoyable having my mother teach me things. my father. That was until they had to send her to a mental hospital. Yes. Yes, she is the one who gave me this scar. She poured boiling hot water on my face because my fireside reminded me of father. Her and father never had a good relationship, really. But to be honest here, they weren't really meant to be planned. They weren't really qualified to be parents. But for my dad's selfish obsessions, they were, even though they were quite unprepared for the job. So enough about that, because it's pretty depressing to be talking about during a study session, and it's pretty inappropriate to be talking about during a study session. So, yes, it's completely fine. I'm fine. I never really cared much about it. It never really bothered me. My father, a douchebag, we all know that. I'm used to him now. I don't really have to be near him anymore, so that's a plus. Yes. Anyways, back to history. What would you like to know about history, my dear? Okay. You want to know about the origin of London? You want to know about the London Bridge falling down song? Why? Because you heard it in an anime? May I know this anime's name, just for reference purposes? Black Butler. Okay. I'm gonna guess that you heard it in the anime and you were wanting to know what it meant. Well, London Bridge is Falling Down, also known as My Fair Lady or London Bridge, is a traditional English nursery rhyme and singing game, which is found in many different versions all over the world. It deals with the depredations of London Bridge and attempts realistic and fanciful to repair it. If you didn't already know, though I'm surprised that you didn't, because this was a pretty famous topic. The London Bridge was, it broke down years ago, and they were trying their best to repair it. The original copy of this song before the rhyme came in was London Bridge is broken down, dance over my lady Lease. London Bridge is broken down with a gay lady. How shall we build it up again with a gay lady? Build it up with gravel and stone, dance over my lady Lease. That is one of the traditional ways that people sing it. They have also, the nursery rhyme that we hear nowadays is just London Bridge is falling down. So I'll repeat that. Is London Bridge is falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Build it up with iron bars. Build it up with iron bars, my fair lady. From iron bars will bend and break. Bend and break. Iron bars will bend and break, my fair lady. Build it up with pins and needles. Build it up with pins and needles, my fair lady. Pins and needles will rest and bend. Pins and needles will rest and bend, my fair lady. Build it up with gravel and stone, gravel and stone, gravel and stone. Build it up with gravel and stone, my fair lady. Gravel and stone will wash away, wash away, wash away. Gravel and stone will wash away, my fair lady. Build it up with silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold. Build it up with silver and gold, my fair lady. And then you repeat as many times as you want. I do have to say, London Bridge is falling down is actually one of my favorite nursery rhymes. It was nice to listen to, and for some reason, I find it soothing. What? Sing it? Like actually sing? Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, I can for you, and more likely I would only sing for you, but I can't promise that'll be any good. Okay, here goes. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Build it up with iron bars, iron bars, iron bars. Build it up with iron bars, my fair lady. Iron bars will bend and break, bend and break, bend and break. Iron bars will bend and break, my fair lady. Build it up with pins and needles, pins and needles, pins and needles. Build it up with pins and needles, my fair lady. Pins and needles will rust and bend, rust and bend, rust and bend. Pins and needles will rust and bend, my fair lady. Build it up with gravel and stone, gravel and stone, gravel and stone. Build it up with gravel and stone, my fair lady. Gravel and stone will wash away, wash away, wash away. Gravel and stone will wash away, my fair lady. Build it up with silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold. Build it up with silver and gold, my fair lady. How was that? Happy to hear that. That was quite embarrassing, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, considering you are the one who told me to do it. So, is there anything else you'd like to know? Okay, one more. Jack and Jill nursery rhyme? Conspiracies about it? Well, one conspiracy theory that I have about it personally is that in history, there were two famous queens and kings of London, as we all know. There are two famous queens of London, and king and queen, who were madly in love with each other, right? The country hated them so much that everybody wanted them dead, but obviously nobody could kill them, because if they got caught, they would be sent to, they'd be sent to the death row. Well, they'd die, obviously. I mean, this is one king and queen war thing. Anyways, one day Jack, or as we say, the king died, right? And funny thing is, he died with a bucket of water in his hand, and everybody had a suspicion that he fell from somewhere. Because of this, because of this, and how the queen was so devastated that the love of her life died, she killed herself with him. Not with him, but she killed himself for him. And they both died. So, because of this, I had a suspicion that maybe Jack and Jill, because the lyrics go, Jack and Jill went up the hill, Jack fell down and broke his crown. Oh, I forgot to mention that both of them, that the king broke his crown when he died, obviously, because he fell from somewhere. So that's the suspicion they had. And they found his crown broken, so that was one of the suspicions I had. Jack and Jill went up the hill, Jack fell down and broke his crown. Jill not long after came tumbling down. So, yeah. That's my conspiracy of it. What's yours? Yep. That's interesting. I find that pretty interesting. Good job, YN. It's a very interesting subject. I'm sure if you share with the whole class, they'd like it as well. Though that's only if you want to. So yeah. You have pretty eyes. Oh, nothing. I just thought you had pretty eyes. I was looking at them, and they're very nice. My eyes? Oh, well, thank you. I have always been told that my eyes are either pretty or weird, mostly weird. So you saying that you like them actually means a lot. Thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. Yeah. That's my new nickname for you. Do you like it? I can change it if you don't. That's good. I'm happy to hear that. Is that all you wanted to know? Well, if you want, we can have a little sleepover. Yeah, of course. I'd love to have a sleepover with you, darling. Okay. Well, I have some thoughts on what we can do on this sleepover. So yeah. But first, let's watch a movie. Love you, darling. Now, let's go get that movie started, shall we? You can pick if you like. I don't mind.